All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we don't have the green screen today. What's up, team? All right. Yo, guys, what's up? Yeah, sorry, man. I had to mess with you. As an LSU fan, I had to mess with you about Bama losing to LSU this year. And Auburn. And who else did they lose to? Nobody, just Bama and Auburn, right? What's up, Steven? What's up, bro? Yes, sir. What's up, Ashton? What's up, man? Yeah, bro. Honestly, it was a crazy game, LSU versus Bama. It was close, but if you saw what LSU did to Georgia this past weekend, you know they're the best team in college right now. 100%. They deserve that number one spot. If you saw what they did to Georgia, you don't even have to take into consideration that at halftime Ohio State was down a huge amount, and they did come back, and that was impressive. But considering LSU's schedule, I think they obviously should be ranked above Ohio State. Because let's be honest here, nobody wants to play Clemson in the semifinal. Nobody wants to play Clemson in the semifinal. Well, thank you, Z-Silla. If you used my link, I appreciate it. I'll try not to exit too early. It's not about exiting too early. It's about using big enough sizing. That's what it's about today. I got to use big enough size. My sizing has to increase. That's what it's about. Ugh, man. But yeah, MAP, man, you from Alabama, bro? You from Alabama, man? Listen, I have family from Alabama. My grandfather actually went to Bama, so I'm not hating on Bama. Great school. Nick Saban, very easily the GOAT coach of all time in college football. And so, I'm not hating on Bama. Like I said, Nick Saban, probably the greatest college football coach of all time. But we did that this year, you know. What's up, Netron? Go 400 shares? All right, I'll try. It depends on what stock. I'll try. Like I said, I'll try. It depends on the stock, though. It really does. All right, but let's look at some stocks this morning. Okay, so first one, we have SFIX. SFIX here. Maybe make this so you can see it. This is probably one of my top watches. You can see it's gapping up from 2502 to 2765, so it's a solid percentage gap up, and I know this one's tradable. We also have a few other ones, specifically MDB. This is MongoDB. This one's gapping up from 130s to 140s. We'll watch MDB. We also have DTIL. ITCI, which looks kind of boring. Let me see. Yeah. CLBS, main watch. One of my main watches gapping up from 1070s to 1140. Solid move. We have IIPR, which is gapping up on low volume. We have A. We have OI. ARVN. Sage. I think the big news this morning, there's a few news. Number one is that we do have a Fed meeting. I don't know if it's passed yet, but I know we did have one scheduled for today at some time. I'm not sure when it actually was or is. And then we also have the news that the Democrats are going to move forward with 2 articles of impeachment. It was previously thought that they would move forward with 3, but instead they are moving forward with 2 articles of impeachment. And I'm sure I'll have to read that news sometime today. I noticed that one already early this morning on Twitter, I believe, is where I noticed that. So we do have both of those looming in the ether this morning. And if we look at the market, our market was originally down, but the numbers must have just come in, so the market's actually up this morning. Originally the SPY was down, but the SPY is now up. Look at that big move. I'll have to go over that in a minute too. Be calm and break that boundary. Don't be panicked. Honestly, if you guys watched my P&L yesterday, if you guys saw my P&L yesterday, I made like $160. I think. Let me see what my P&L is at. I should be over 1,200. Yeah. I'm at 1,236. So I made a little bit of money yesterday. But I did break that 1,200 boundary. I just still need to use bigger sizing though. Yesterday, even though I had a nice win, my sizing wasn't quite big enough, I think. And so I'm just gonna have to keep pushing. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. But yeah, serious question. Who do you guys think is going to win the college football national championships? Who do you think is going to win the playoffs? And really, I'm just glad we have playoffs now. I'm glad it's not the BCS where they just kind of pick two teams, you know. But yeah, look at this move in the overall market. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can find what's going on here. That's right, dude. You know. LSU, Joe Burrow, about to win the Heisman. Alright, so it sounds like these were labor numbers that came out. I can go ahead and read this. So the USA non-farm productivity for the third quarter is 0.2% versus the 0.1% consensus estimate. The prior reading was 0.3%. And so a little bit better than expected non-farm productivity numbers for the third quarter of this year. We also have unit labor costs that came out, and that is 2.5% versus the 3.3% consensus estimate, so better than expected unit labor cost percentage. The prior reading was 3.6%. We also have some news relating to the overall market that Pelosi is going to be holding a news conference on the USMCA at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And it also has another article that says the House Democrats are going to introduce 2 formal articles of impeachment against Donald Trump Tuesday, according to the Washington Post. The impeachment vote could come as early as next week, and the charges will focus on, quote, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. 3 officials close to the matter told the Post. A New Yorker Democrat from the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee said the specific articles would be announced at 9 a.m. Tuesday. So that is in 15 minutes. Those should be announced. It says if the articles are introduced Tuesday, the Judiciary Committee could vote on them Thursday, the publication said. And the articles would go in front of the full House for a vote next week. This is all from, and let me go ahead and quote this. This is all from BZ Newswires. So the impeachment investigation is primarily for, quote, allegedly blackmailing then newly elected Ukrainian President Zelensky into announcing an investigation aimed at hurting his Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. I mean, ironically, I think that this whole impeachment thing is to kind of smear Donald Trump's 2020 presidential campaign. In my opinion, I don't think he'll actually get impeached because there's too much hearsay behind it all. And I think they have to know that. And so when you think of that, then you have to understand that they're partly just doing this to hurt his chances of getting reelected in 2020, I would think. Like I said, I try to stay impartial on it. I don't really, root for anybody specifically, to be honest. But I think that the evidence behind this is very weak. And I think they know they're probably not going to get him actually impeached. And so most of this is just trying to hurt his reputation for the 2020 race, is what it seems like. But we'll see. And like I said, this is coming from somebody that doesn't really like either side. I don't really like either side here. I think they both have issues with both sides. Roughly in the middle. Okay, here. No, I mean, listen, like I said, I don't really like either side. So don't think I'm siding with anybody here. I'm just telling you what it seems like to me. But what I'm saying, though, is that the evidence for that is extremely small. And it's going to be very hard to get him impeached on little evidence. But who knows? It could happen. I'm just saying the evidence behind it is extremely low. And like I said, I don't really side with either one. I'm not really a political guy. I don't really like politics. I don't really want to get involved in either side. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Yeah, team, and like I said, like, listen, I'm not pro or against anything here. I'm very anti-politics. I don't pick sides. I really don't. I don't like either side. I think that I'm very socially liberal, actually. So I'm very socially liberal. Obviously, if you've ever heard me talk, but I do think that it's going to be a tough thing for them to follow through on. Yeah, with that, I agree with you, man. Listen, bro, like I said, you might hear me and think I swing one way with politics. I really don't. I'm very anti-politics, and I've said it before. I think the more you get wrapped up in politics, the less intelligent you probably are. And so I think that most people are roughly in the middle, and they don't have to believe the same thing, but I think most reasonable people are roughly in the middle. Because I think the more radical you get on either side, the less intelligent you probably are. But again, that's just my opinion on it, and I'm very anti-politics. I don't like politics. I don't like picking sides. I think people end up rooting for their political side like they root for a football team, and that makes them very blind to different aspects of it. And so with that, I'm just going to try to avoid politics and talking about politics in general, But yeah, with stuff like that, I mean, it's just news that's going to affect the overall market, and so I have to talk about that. But we'll see what happens, Here we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Futures. I appreciate it, brother. All right. Let's see. So yeah, SPY's up. I guess I'll start looking up news. It's that time of the day. So first things first, we can look at a few different ones here. Specifically, SFIX. Alright, so SFIX is up. Let me see if I can find the catalyst here. So this one is up after the company reported better than expected first quarter results, and they also reported active clients of 3.5 million in their products, which is up from 17% last year. They also announced that the CFO Paul Yee will leave the company to pursue other career opportunities. And so positive results for SFIX. We'll see what happens with that. We also have MDB here, which might be interesting. This one's just a little bit more expensive, but this one is at 131. Let me see. Alright, so I think this one is up after third quarter results as well. It said they were expecting losses of 58 cents a share, 20 cents a share on an adjusted basis, but revenue went up to 109.4 million from 71.8 million in the year ago period. Analysts were looking for 99.7 million, so they had a little bit higher than expected revenue for MDB, and you can see this one spiking up some here as well. We'll see what happens with that. We also have cheaper stocks like OBSV, and this one is up. Doesn't really have a catalyst, but this one dropped a huge amount yesterday after a gap up, and so I think it's just reacting to that. We also have penny stocks like ASNA, which reported the first quarter EPS of 18 cents, up from 6 cents in the same year last year. So they reported first quarter EPS and sales results. Hold on. Wife's calling me. Hold on. Alright, so it is trash day. And nobody here reminded me, man. Nobody reminded me. I'll put you guys in charge of reminding me when I have to take the trash out on Tuesdays. Remember, it's every Tuesday. Alright, we're going to run through the rest of these news, see if we can get Mitch in here. And then while he's in here, I'll look up the news. We got AUPH that's running up some. But yeah, like I said, just to touch on that, I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't impeach Trump. I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't. I'm saying that I think the evidence for it is extremely small, and that they should know that, really. And so I would have to think they have other reasons for that. But like I said, I'm not saying whether they should or shouldn't. You know, I'm not going to touch on that. To be honest, I don't really like Trump. It's not that I, hate him. I don't necessarily agree with some of the stuff he does. It's the best way I can describe it. But again, I try to stay objective behind all of it. Alright. But yeah. RDFN. We got NLOK. VWAP. Yeah. I just typed in VWAP. STT, FTSV. We have AOI. We have AUPH. And so that's about it. I'm sure with the market moving up, we're gonna have some other stocks that are following it now, like Roku, AMD. PCG. I think AMD is just following the overall market. I can look to see if we have some news here for it. I'm not seeing anything really. So yeah, I mean, that's about it, I guess. Let me know if you guys have anything specific you want me to take a look at. I guess I'll go ahead and read the ETF preview and then get mentioned here. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way. Rich politics is just a divide and conquer agenda, 100%, man. I mean, that's all it is, you know. I think that most of the people that end up getting elected, I'm trying my hardest to stay impartial. I think most of the people that end up getting elected are for the same things, regardless of which side that they're on. You know what I mean? And so, I think to a certain extent, it's not relevant. But as a stock trader, you know, obviously I'm pro-capitalism to a certain extent, obviously. I mean, to be a stock trader that's anti-capitalism doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I saw AMD. I think AMD is just moving with the overall market. I think AMD is just moving. I think if you look at the SPY after those numbers came in, I went over the numbers already. I think the SPY and this big push up after the payroll numbers is what's causing this move. Let me see if I can find the news for this. I'll read this real quick. I'm not seeing anything new specifically on AMD. Looking at the SPY, let me see. Let me get Mitch in here too. There he is. Yo, what's up, man? Let's see where he's at. Yo, Mitch, you there, bro? I gotta go take my trash out in a second, Mitch. So if you can hold it down, that'd be great.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, let me get Mitch in here. There you go. Alright, say something.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Let's do a sound check, team. How's that sound?
Sound check 1 2 1 2.
Let me know how the sound goes.
Pull up the chat here. Catch on up.
Yeah, I made the crucial mistake, Mitch, this morning. And I talked about politics.
Dun dun dun.
Something you should never do, argue about politics. And I didn't argue, like I said, I'm very impartial. I don't like either side. You know, to be honest, there's stuff I don't like about Trump. Like, Trump makes a lot of dumb decisions, in my opinion, too, as like a stock trader. You know, but like I said,
I'm just happy I made it to the next week in my fantasy team.
I'm just saying, just to get out of NFL and pro and to go to college real quick, Joe Burrow is going to win the Heisman this year, 100%. 100%, dude.
I'm all for it, bro.
Yeah,
I don't watch
know.
college, so I'm all for you, bro.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's about to win. He's about to win the Heisman.
Yes.
If you
Heisman,
saw what LSU did,
national championship,
100%.
celebrating USC style, even though they're in LSU.
Yeah. All I'm saying is we're the national champs this year, and we don't have to play Clemson. Nobody wants to play that big dog Clemson.
They pulling that Reggie Matt Liners type.
Yeah. Honestly, Burrow is Tebow. Or not Tebow.
He's not Matt Liner?
He's Tebow 2.0 is Burrow, man. Burrow's Tebow 2.0, man. He's Cam Newton 2.0. That's what Burrow is.
You telling me he doesn't have an arm?
I'm telling you, he's got an arm, bro. I'm just saying. He scrambles like Tebow and Cam Newton. That's what I'm saying, man. Joe Burrow, Heisman 2019. That's all I'm saying. And he's going to win it. He's going to win it. Listen, if you saw, we played number 4, Georgia. And we beat the brakes off number 4, Georgia. If you're from Georgia, I'm sorry. But LSU's going to win the national championship. We should obviously be ranked above Ohio State. And so if you're in Ohio, I'm sorry. You know who the real team is out here, you know?
All right.
All
I hate Ohio State. All right, guys, let's get into some stocks here, guys. All right, I'm gonna run through the news. You go take out the trash, buddy.
All right, I got it. I'm sorry, Netron. I'm sorry. Listen, bro, sometimes we're gonna talk about stuff other than stocks. Maybe we shouldn't, and I'm sorry. I just had to say it. My team's going into the playoffs this year.
Tebow 2.0 really is Wentz, man. That's Wentz.
Y'all don't
Carson
hate on Tebow,
Wentz.
man. My man Tebow had arms. He had skill, you know.
Carson Wentz is Tebow 2.0.
Really, kind of, if you want me to be honest, Johnny Manziel is kind of Tebow 2.0, if we're being honest here. Not necessarily with how he played, but overall what happened to him. You know, Couldn't
All
cut
right,
it.
guys. Let's get into some stocks. I got some. Let's get into ratings first. Usually, I do earnings first. I have a small amount of ratings here. I think one's very important. Let's go ahead and get into here. We got some downgrades here in Citigroup. Well, actually, this is about Netflix. Okay, so Netflix has actually gotten three downgrades. The last three ratings for Netflix have been downgrades. Um, just let's pull up the chart, see what we see on Netflix. You can clearly see a top at 320. I think that's really where you see the high or the top on this stock. I think it's going to be very vital to stay above 300. If we do not stay above 300, we could test that 260 low down there. So I'm going to be paying attention today as we've gotten some ratings underneath that 300. We got a rating from Wells Fargo down to 265. We got a rating from Citigroup that used to have a crazy bullish rating of 410, now down towards 325. They're still trying to kind of more pick the top, which doesn't really show much kind of analyst ability there. But Wells Fargo knocked them down to 265. And that's kind of the area where I see on the daily chart that it could head to for support. So I'll be looking to see if we can get some drive down, get through the 290s. Last time that Netflix got a downgrade and did this washout, it did recover all of its losses that it did pre-market. So just keep that in mind. Doesn't mean that it's going to repeat. It could fade down today, but just want to keep that in mind there. All right. How we doing out there, traders? Gonna go ahead and run through the news. Let's get through this. So Netflix, we're talking about a downgrade here, guys. All right. So good morning, Emmanuel, Scott, Swing. We got Dean in the house, Tukal, Future Trader, Taya, Marie, Life Double, Netron, Jeffries. What's going on, everybody? If you guys are listening in, definitely say hi in the chat. We always support. We always love the support. And we'll love to hear from you. What's going on, Ken and Ramix Trader? How y'all doing? All right, guys, let's go ahead and keep moving on here. We talked about Netflix downgrade. Let's move into another one. MKC here. MKC is McCormick. I know you guys know what McCormick is. It's kind of more of that seasonings. They have a whole bunch of kind of food products. The thing that I like interesting about this stock is that if you look on the weekly chart, this stock has shot out the gates, has been shooting out for a long time, guys, and now has just been hit with a sell. Not many times do kind of these ratings players give these stocks downgrades to sell, but you got a downgrade from neutral to sell at 140. This is Goldman Sachs trying to knock this stock down towards 140. So I'm going to be paying attention. You know, we've gotten a big drop. Not going to be too kind of wary about this one. It needs to start making some big moves for me to be able to trade it. I'm going to keep it on my watch. That's MKC. What's going on, Tukal? How we doing? Mr. G, how we doing? Fitzwilliam, Fitz. All right, let's keep it going here, guys. We got JPM also. JPM with a downgrade. You could look at this one to start pulling back here. This one is still up at the top of the chart, guys. So wait for this one to break support at 130 if you're looking for a downside move in JPM. All right, guys, let's get into my upgrade here. We got CDMO with a nice upgrade here. If you look on the daily chart and weekly, you're actually going to see a good kind of bullish kind of making up the shadow for this move that was in 2016 all the way in 2016. So I think the really important price point for the stock is going to be above this 719 area. I think it could try to go to 7 today, but the real key is can it get above this area and get above this trend line here. So you can see a nice drive towards that 650 area, 680s, and then we get a drive through the 7. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at a little closer, see what we can find. You can clearly see we're getting kind of that support at $6 and could get a rush through that 660 after the open. All right, guys, let's keep going. With CDMO, we had it also rise on reported better earnings per share and sales results. Okay, let's keep going into the earnings. We got AZO here, AutoZone. AutoZone is really up here, guys. This is a huge. This stock is priced ridiculously. I don't know why they try to sell this stock at this price, but it's actually up on earnings here. So they reported same store sales rose 3.4% for an expectation of 2.6%.
Yeah, the reason AutoZone is priced so high is just because the SMOD is relatively small versus other like big corporations like that. Like the float on AutoZone is only 23 million, which is pretty small, all things considered. And so with that, they're gonna price it higher. I think that's mostly why.
Yeah, when you're an employee, they give you fractions of shares.
What?
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, man. I mean, if they can give me half a share, I mean, you know, that's like what, $650? I'll take that. You know?
I'm sure it's like a 16th.
Right, a 10th. You know, give you a little $120. You know.
All right. So that's AutoZone for you guys. Let's get into we got another one here. Another one that I'm really liking today is DBI, guys. This is designer brand. Really getting hit, guys. Look at the daily chart. You can check it out. You can see that it was hanging out at 17, had a big support at 16, and we just cracked that support at 16. So that's what I'm going to be looking on the top side resistance. I can see it coming back to 16 if it did come back. But you know, you got another resistance here at 1546. I could look for this one to pop into closer towards the 15 and then fade today. It's already down a significant amount pre-market. That down gap has gone down about 18, almost 20%, and that's in DBI. I'm gonna keep a close eye on this one as it's being hit off of we got bad third quarter profits, missed expectations, and cut guidance. So what I call the triple negative report. So a bad kind of miss on expectations, bad earnings, and then bad guidance. Those are the three you definitely don't want to see, and this one's getting hit really hard. Another one that we can move into is HDS. HDS is HD Supply Holdings. This one is actually got a beat on earnings per share, but a miss on revenue. I think this one's kind of that middle in the line stock. It's really not moving up or down. It's in the middle of the daily chart. I would look for this one to move first. If you're going to trade this one, that's HDS. Another one we can look at is Chewy. Chewy coming out with earnings and also has that lockout period that's going to give out tomorrow. Chewy missed on earnings but beat slightly on revenue. The company ended the quarter with 12.7 million active customers, up 33% from net sales, and customers were up 11% from net sales. All right, guys. So another one we can take a look at is Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is SFIX. This one's looking really interesting, guys. This one broke out pretty significant here, from 2580s to 2850 there. We're showing a support here at 27. Let's see what this low here is on this candle here. We're showing a low of 2710. That's where I would try to see the support come in here at 2710. See if it can come right back up, try to break through that 28. But this one is definitely going to be interesting. This is Stitch Fix. Their shares surged on quarter one beat and full year guidance boost. The company also reported active clients of 3.4 million, up 17% from last year. All right, the last thing I want to bring up, guys, is as you guys bring up the COD, Call of Duty games, we could actually talk about GameStop earnings, guys. GameStop earnings is going to be coming up at the end of the day today. I'll be seeing what happens with this stock.
Anybody want to take a
No.
guess on how GameStop? They've got to be down, right? They've got to be
It's
down.
it's up here near that $8. If I could see it spike, I say the spike could go maybe to $8. I do not think it's going to get above that 8, but I think you do have some downside profit potential here from $7 maybe if you can get a closer to $7 entry, and then you can get a potential move down towards the $3, 370, 350.
Hey, appreciate the sub, Clifton. Welcome to the team, bro. Like I said, guys, remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the bell to turn on notifications, and yeah, come join us again. But no,
Another one to watch, guys, for earnings coming out this kind of tomorrow at the end of the day is going to be this Ollie bargain brand. See if this support on the weekly is going to hold 54.27. That's going to be very vital for this stock.
yeah, so
That's Ollie brand.
Here's a question. So somebody's addedly is talking about how Call of Duty isn't doing that great. Twitch numbers are down with that. Is Call of Duty still owned by Activision? Is Activision
Yes.
still Call of Duty? And if it is, that's the stock to watch regarding that.
Yep.
Appreciate the sub. We got a new sub.
100%. 100% owned by Activision.
Okay. I appreciate the sub, B Harold. Appreciate the sub. Yeah, guys, like I said, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you for the subscribe. You can click the bell, get a notification when we do go live. Let me see. This trade at
Alright.
TCCO. Let me check for you. Yeah, keep going, Mitch. My bad. No.
The only thing left from here, guys, is going to be kind of major market news. I don't know if you went over the tariff news.
I haven't gone over the tariffs yet. I went over the impeachment articles and the and what else? And the payroll numbers. I did go over both.
There you
of
go.
those.
I'll just send you it, and then you can go over the major market news also.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Let me see.
There you go. I sent you it, so you can
Okay.
just read off of that.
All right. Let me see. All right, so yeah, so Mitch just sent me this for the overall market, and it says U.S. and China trade officials are planning for a delay of the December 15th tariffs, and the U.S. and Chinese trade negotiators are, quote, laying down the groundwork to delay new tariffs that were set to go into force on December 15th, according to the Wall Street Journal. So what this means basically is that China is getting what they wanted, which is that they wanted these tariffs to be pushed back. They did not want to have these tariffs be enforced starting on the 15th in 5 days. And so that's what they've been kind of pushing for. And hopefully this will open up the groundwork for them to reach a better trade agreement, because that's what this is all really about. As you guys know, they've been working on closing a trade deal, and China has been pushing for these tariffs to be taken out. And so having them push back is good news for China. It's what they ultimately wanted. And like I said, that should help hopefully reach a trade deal. Economists are worried about the new tariffs, and this is all quote. It says economists are worried about the new tariffs because they would hit U.S. consumers who have been the bright spot in the economy. The report, which quotes unnamed officials on both sides, said the two countries are haggling over how to get China to commit to massive purchases of U.S. farm products. End quote. And again, where was it? What was the source on that, Mitch?
That is. Hold on, give me 1 second. I believe that was Barron's.
Okay, Barron's.com. Okay, appreciate that. And so yeah, let's see what we have.
So that's it, pretty much, guys. I think that's positive news, but not like we talk about, not confirmation.
Right.
So another kind of fluff news for a push in the market, trying to get it back up to the levels. I think what the big thing here is that you got. This is, I think, the biggest line is economists are worried about these new tariffs because they would hit the U.S. consumer who has seen a bright spot in the economy. And I think that's really the important thing, is that I think overall the U.S. consumer has felt a little bit more positive in these kind of holiday times when there was kind of big worries where we were going to drop into a recession, where we are going to get hit with big tariffs, where all these kind of products that we all love to buy on the holidays all of a sudden just going to jump in price and get inflation to new levels. And that's really the worry and kind of uncertainty that we have here, guys. But the real key is what's going to happen. Are the tariffs going to come out? Are they going to delay the tariffs? I always talked about this December 15th as being so vital to us, and it is getting vital. I think we're getting near that time where at any point in time we could get trade talks to change the market and swing it. So understand that at any point in time there could be a major market news. So always pay attention to the SPY. And whenever you see spikes, understand that this is probably going to have to do with a major catalyst. Find that catalyst before you make trade decisions. All right, guys, let's see, and let's get around ready, see what we're going to get today. Great day to yesterday, great week so far. Going to continue pushing on. Over $250 day yesterday.
I realized, my bad. First of all, I've been muted, I guess. I also realized Mitch couldn't hear me. But no, Mitch has been killing it, man. Y'all saw Mitch's P&L yesterday. Dude had like 6 green trades in a row. No losing trades. Just killing it, man.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, guys. The real key, guys, is continue working on your process, because that's what we're here for, guys. At the end of the day, we're not here to be heroes. We're not here to kind of show off. I don't think any trader should be here trying to show off. That's not what we're here. We're beginner trading. We're here to show. If you want to show off on the process. Yeah. Show off on the strategy that you're using that's being consistent. It's not about realized gains, guys. It's about showing me that not only can you trade your strategy, but you can continuously trade it. Focus on the important parts of trading, which are entry, risk management, and learning how to kind of maximize your gains.
I appreciate it, Netron. Thank you for the $2 Canadian, brother. Netron with the $2 donation. Thank you, bro. Go Habs. You're going to have to explain that for me, because believe it or not, Netron, you said you used to be a hockey fan, bro. I used to play ice hockey. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so if anybody ever grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you know, we used to have our own mid-level hockey team called the Kingfish. And I played for the Pee Wee Kingfish as a kid, ice hockey. In Louisiana. Yes, in Louisiana. I played. But I appreciate that, Netron. I'm assuming that's a hockey team. But thank you, sir. I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to Netron. All right, but yeah. So, I had a solid day yesterday too. Like I said in the thumbnail, we're pushing the $2,000 in profit. I am at $1,236.71 in profit. We have about $750 to go.
And, all right, guys.
It should be plausible.
I saw yesterday, you can clearly tell that AUPH didn't want to fade away. It had more than plenty of times to just fade away yesterday. And what it was doing was holding at support for a longer time move. If you look at it on a 15-minute chart, you're going to really start to see AUPH in a kind of better correct standing point here, as it's held the bottom multiple times there and now has created this kind of high resistance. The high resistance is 1675 for AUPH, and the low support where it kept holding yesterday was in the 1512s. The big price point for this one was 1541. That's where the offering came in, and that's where they can go ahead and scoop up more shares. So if you don't remember, there's also a shelf offering on this one that has an ability to get an additional, I think, 20 plus million in shares. So investors could be scooping up some more shares here as it rips through 17 today, and investors take that in kind of that profit up there. The company sells those offerings, and then boom, the company could fall down. So just be careful, guys. I do think this one has potential to get above 17 today, but it can also fall down in a hurry.
Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, the VWAP bounce is a strategy that has been working ridiculously well for me. And I think Mitch has been using it some too. I think yesterday was one of the only days, like most of the time I'll take some fades and I'll take some bounces. I think yesterday was one of the only days where I traded more than 3 times, and they were all VWAP bounces. So all the trades I took yesterday were VWAP bounces, and I think I didn't do as good as Mitch, but I think I went 4 for 5. and 80%. I'll have to look back at my P&L. Let me look what it was. But yeah, solid day yesterday for VWAP bounces. And like the video I put out this weekend, VWAP bounces have been working ridiculously well for me at least. Yeah, yesterday
Nice.
I had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 out of 5 is what I did yesterday. So
That's how we do it. Dean with a good win on KPTI. That was a great short yesterday. That thing never came back. Glad you're able to nail that one, Dean. That one's down now, almost through the daily low. And this is when I saw the daily chart really reject 17, and I saw that 17 rejection, and I said, "Let's go for it."
Yep. Oh, let me do
It
the
broke
ETF.
through the low. I always like when it breaks through the support, and the support was a whole dollar, and now you're getting a flood of volume to come in through that whole dollar. You can always kind of look for it to come back to that whole dollar or slightly above, and that's what I was able to nail on KPTI.
Yeah, let me go ahead and go over the ETF preview. I forgot to do that because that has some other stuff that we should probably talk about too. And I'll go ahead and do this quick. It's from MT Newswires, and it says, quote, U.S. stocks were in a negative territory ahead of the opening, with investors in a risk-off mood as the U.S. and China have yet to agree on the much-touted first-phase trade deal just days before Washington is set to increase import levies on Chinese goods. In retrospect, we have pushed back the tariffs on the 15th already. And so I'm gonna skip the rest of this, but we're gonna go over specifically financial and commodities. And so with financial, and again, this is from MT Newswires, Deutsche Bank DB is down 0.5% after it said it expects core annual banking revenue to grow by just 1% compared with the estimated 2% growth in July. And so that's the news for Deutsche. We also have commodities, with crude oil down 0.3%. The U.S. Oil Fund is down 0.2%. The natural gas is up 0.9%, and the U.S. Natural Gas Fund is up 0.2%, with gold up 0.4%. The Spotted Gold Trust is up 0.3%. Silver is up 0.4%, and the iShare Silver Trust is up 0.5%. All right. So yeah, wanted to go over that really quick for our viewers so they can kind of see the breakdown on the different sectors and commodities as well. But yeah, I think one of my main watches is Stitch Fix, SFIX. I think Stitch Fix looks solid.
Yeah, I like DRM.
That's an old one.
Derm.
I used to trade some fades on, man. I remember trading that
The
one a lot.
derm.
Yeah, bro. I remember
Watch
trading
out,
that one
don't
hard.
catch the derm.
Yeah, man. I remember shorting this thing like crazy after big gap ups is what I remember doing with this one way back
Yeah,
in the day. Let me look
ridiculous
back
gap up today. Big time support 950.
Yep.
Resistance up there at 1050. Nice dollar range for a stock in our price range. Tradable on TradeNet and
Yep.
below $10.
Yeah, let me get this ready. Yeah, it looks good. I remember shorting it, big gap ups, and
Big time support underneath is 881. I want to see it kind of flush through that 950 with some quick flush to the 9.
Yeah, I remember it was pretty reliable when we used to trade it, man.
Yeah, it has a tendency of really doing kind of gap and crap.
Yep, exactly.
So that's what I'm really looking for. Another one that I'm looking, guys, AMRN. This is one that I got a nice win on it yesterday, but could have even held on for an even bigger win. I was able to actually get this one closer towards the spike that happened at 22.23s. That's when the spike happened. It spiked up towards 22.70s. So today, look for $22 to hold. And if we can hold $22, I think this one can try up there to 22.78, maybe get up there to $23. That's AMRN.
Yeah, I'll check that one out too. Let me see. I'm trying to get a little bit extra space.
I always like AMRN. I like the
Yeah.
way that one trades. When
I
it
used to hate it,
swings, it swings.
I used to
That's
hate
the
it.
thing.
I used to hate it, but now I love it. Yeah, I actually love trading. It works really well.
I think what you learned is that you have to just be patient with it.
Right.
If you're patient and you get a good entry in AMRN, it usually keeps going. A good one I'd compare it to is Square.
Right, and it's pretty consistent too. Like, it's reliable. It follows trends. Is the big thing. Like, when you're looking at VWAP fades and bounces, the big thing you really want to consider is how well it follows trends. So if it's choppy, like, even, you know, if you look at some of these, like, look at how well this follows a trend. It stays in that downtrend. You know, if you keep looking back on the history, look at this uptrend, stayed in an uptrend. And so that's really what you look for with AMRN. In any stock, if you're looking to trade bounces and fades, is how well does it follow a trend. And AMRN consistently follows a pretty easy to understand trend. You know, if you look at the data.
Exactly. Look for more volume than we got yesterday. We want to see 10 million in shares traded in AMRN with a breakthrough 23 to really show that momentum push towards 25. KPTI, guys. KPTI, Dean's asking about it. For that one, I'll look for a pop-up towards 1650. 1650 rejection would get me interested.
Yeah, Cole is asking me how was my day yesterday. I made about 165 in gross, a little less in net, but now my account is up around $1,250, and so it's growing. I'm pushing towards 2,000 in profit. That's what I'm doing today. That's the goal for this week and next week, is to break $2,000 in profit.
Yep. Let's do it, man. Like always, guys, try your best, and I always remind is worry about those cents per trade, guys. Let's nail those cents per trade. When you nail cents per trade, you can always focus more on your strategy than on realized results. We're going to continue trading for you guys live and showing you guys our results. But one of the things we always like to stress on is don't be the hero. Don't stress to be the hero, because at the end of the day, the hero doesn't win in trading. I can tell you that, guys, from experience. Even if you make one great trade, doesn't mean the next one will be a great one also. Right. So stick to your strategies, stick to what works, rinse, repeat. That's what's going to get you guys the gains that you want.
Yes, sir. All right, so here's the market bell. Let's see, we're going to watch the SPY, and then we'll watch everything that comes with it, like Roku.
All right, guys, DERM pushing up really quickly there to 10. I'm going to watch to see it reject that 10. Let's pull back there in AUPH.
Roku bouncing up here as well.
Alright, let me lower this down. Let's get to it. Let's do this, guys.
CGC had a pretty big drop at the open too, along with the overall market and the SPY. Right now though, we're seeing TCCO pop up on the scanners. I don't think this one's tradable for us, but we are seeing TCCO pop up. By just getting hammered here, and I didn't even notice this one this morning. I probably should have gone over this one, but look at TCCO, a huge move.
Quick drop there in Fate. I'm going to keep an eye on Fate.
Yeah, and the big thing with TCCO is that if you look at the liquidity prior till today, it had, like, I'm guessing, less than 50,000 shares traded over a week period. So I think very low volume for that one. Yeah, CLBS is getting hammered here as well. I'm watching Netflix and Tesla a little bit closer at the open this morning. The SPY itself, though, is dropping down. The SPY is at 313.40s.
Looking to see if I can get Fate up there towards 913s. Ah, the spread just changed on me. Gotta be smart here. Yeah, really quickly got in Derm, but not in Derm, in Fate. But what happened was the spread changed on me. I had 19-15 on the bid, and when I hit the when I hit the short, it changed the bid on me. So I got a bad pricing, bad fill there.
We can't see your actual.
All right, hold on a sec. Yeah, a little upset there because I had the right pricing. I had this 1916 entry there. That's where it should have got in. Somehow it just slipped off the bid there, and for that slight second went down to 1905. So it got 10-cent fill down. It would have been a great fill at 1915, which is where I'm at the VWAP. So just got to hold there. Maybe try to add if I get up by bounce, but really getting a little bit kind of screwed there at the open, but just got to pay attention here. Really did like that bounce. I mean, imagine guys, I could pull 15 to 20% profit immediately here if I got that right entry. All right, guys, gonna have to take it off there because of my entry. And look at that, missed a big win because of that. It's just too stressed out there because of my entry. A little upsetting there. Could have been a nice big win there if I got in there in the correct entry, which I hit it 916, 915 right there. Boom, nice 30-40 cent fade right out the open.
Yeah, it's got a big spread, brother. So I mean, you know, it happens.
Yeah, little frustrating there. Definitely should have got that right pricing. We're talking milliseconds, and that cost me there a nice $50 win there. Nah, that's gonna be really frustrating, but just gotta let it go.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse, brother. You know, it could have. It's slightly green, you know, so still early, brother. It's only 6 minutes in. You got it. You got this.
Yeah, that's a home run trade though, right there. You got to nail that one. Got to get over it. Frustrating to say the least. Hope somebody got it correctly.
I'm looking at AMD. If it pops up to 39, I might short a little bit with the risk of like 39.16 or so. We'll see, but that's what I'm watching now. CLV is bouncing up to the VWAP. CLVS, it's right around there. CGC is also tanking hard here. I might consider it on bounce back up for CGC. Definitely seeing potential more fades today than bounces. But yeah, look at CGC.
Yeah, I can see Fate heading down towards 18 there. Missing out on 50 cents right now. Potential dollar move down on that fade.
I'm trying to scale into Roku a little bit here just to get a little starter trade. Somebody ringing on a doorbell. Yeah, I'm in Roku with a little bitty shear size here. I gotta be careful not to get squeezed up, but it's right around where I'd enter. I'm just gonna use that 80 level as my risk and get out there for a small loss if it goes against me. Also watching CGC very closely here. Alright, so I added a little bit to my Roku trade here, just for a fake out fade. We're going to see if it gets rejected under the $0.50, but I got to be pretty tight with it.
Let's see what I can find.
Yeah, I ended up getting out of Roku there. It just tested my risk level a little bit too much, and I kept it pretty small. So I'm gonna look at AMD actually now. I like AMD a little bit here. Might start to scale in with a small size if we can get any big bounces here. And with 100, and then I'm gonna look to add a little bit more. But yeah, Roku, maybe it's gonna follow through. But yeah, actually just looking at it, it just squeezed up. So very happy with that exit on Roku. Jumped out of there just in time. I'm also looking at CGC potentially here. CGC might get interesting too. And so yeah, sorry guys, I got family here, so it may be kind of loud on my end. So I'm gonna mute myself again. You guys can see my risk is up here, right around 39.09. That's what my risk is for AMD. Hey, thank you for the sub. Let's see. Thank you for the sub, Red. Welcome to the team, bro. Appreciate the sub, brother. Welcome to the team, bro. Like I said, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. We do this live for free every day.
AUPH ripping out there, above 17 there. Fate still not looking back towards VWAP. Durham broke out also. Watching AMRN for a pullback towards VWAP.
Yeah, AMD is looking a little squeezy right here. So I just gotta be careful of AMD if it breaks 39.08. It's getting pretty close. I still kept it pretty small, but I'm getting close to it.
Durham breaking out there, guys.
Alright, so it confirmed my risk level here, which is great. Nicely confirmed it, and then it got rejected back below it. So now I have a very easy risk of 39.10. We'll hope it can get rejected back below the VWAP, but it's still kind of early. And what else we got? Here's the move. Let me see. Gotta get out there. Alright, so I got squeezed out of AMD. Yeah, I think the market just kind of climbed back up, which is, you know, okay. We're still looking at Roku. I got out of Roku and I'm still down. I mean, I'm down $63, so it's still pretty small. We're gonna see if we can fight our way back. I just don't like how AMD was this morning.
DERM now ripping almost to $11, guys.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is to see what the SPY does. Specifically, the SPY might fade here, and if the SPY fades here, I think a lot of other stuff is going to be in a downtrend, you know? And so that's what I'm kind of waiting on, to see what the SPY does here. I might look at AMD if it gets rejected back down to 39, and then gets rejected up to 39.03. But, like, that's what I'm considering. Also looking at Roku maybe for a VWAP bounce. Maybe. It just depends.
Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. Bitch, I'm active. If he never heard of Ben Dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body.
Hey guys, sorry if I'm quiet. It's because I got family here, and so I gotta mute myself sometimes. But that's what's going on. Yeah, the AMD trade just didn't work out. Like I said, with Fade specifically, you need stocks that pick trends really well, and AMD has not really picked a trend that great today. So I might move on to other stuff. One thing I also don't like about AMD specifically is that the previous closing price is below it, and so technically it's green on the day, and that the previous closing price right here is going to act as some support usually. Yeah, for sure. But we're gonna give it time. One thing, like I said yesterday, hold on, let me make sure I'm not muted. Yeah, okay, so one thing I said yesterday is that I think whenever you, like, most of the time I can rebound on the day, and so I don't take losses as hard anymore, because I know, like, early, if I trade early, a lot of times those are gonna be more coin flips because the market is a little bit more volatile, and sure, sometimes they might work out well, but a lot of times they're just going to be coin flips. And so I know as long as I can keep my initial losses at the open under $100, then I'm okay, and I can usually kind of fight my way back and end green, similar to what I did a few days ago. And so that's kind of how I approach it, and that way I don't let myself get too upset over losses. I'm going to jump in with 100 shares short here, anticipating a breakdown below these lows, and I'll add to AMD as it goes a little bit higher here. Maybe take a little bit more. And with 200 shares. Alright, but yeah, I added a few more shares here, and especially on this breakdown, because on any bounces back up here, I can short back into it, and then you should just use these highs up here as my risk. And so I don't mind that at all, and we'll see if we can get the bigger breakdown.
All right, traders, you guys might hear me a little bit more quiet right now. Just trying to regain my focus here. Probably going to take a break at least from trading. Going to put a lock on my order forms and just watch for a little bit. Still trying to find a good chart. Still having a little FOMO on the Fate execution there. So A little frustrated still. Since I'm frustrated, I don't want to take a trade right now. I'm just gonna hold off. Seeing AMRN break out there, was thinking about maybe a potential long there at 22.45s, but it never really got to that number. It's already breaking out. I was watching that one to break out today. Other than that, I'm not seeing much. I might not even take a trade. Might just call it a day. But I'll still just be here looking at charts. If you guys wanted me to look at any charts, let me know. If not, I'll be right here.
Yeah, AMD's getting me squeezed up, and so I got to make a decision here. Like I said, I'll probably use this high up here at 39.12 as my risk, but I don't really like that breakdown above. It's definitely not what I wanted to see, but it's still early, and I'm down less than $100, so hopefully we get a move back below the VWAP. I'm just worried it's going to act as support here, and now we have this range that is going up to the top and back down to the bottom, and I don't really necessarily want to risk getting in a range breakout here above this level, so we'll see what happens. Appreciate the sub, Jakey. Welcome to the team, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not really loving this right now. I'm gonna get out here, keep my loss under $100, and maybe I got out a little early here. I'm not loving the range right now with AMD. I think I might have gotten a little bit stubborn in taking that one. No, TCCO isn't tradable on TEFs. But I mean, if you look at the volume, like if we look at TCCO, look at the volume prior till today. It literally had like 50,000 shares traded over a week's period. Like, look at this. There's just no liquidity prior till today, and so I shouldn't expect that to be tradable on TEFs, really, just because, again, TEFs isn't really for penny stocks, and prior till today, this was a penny stock. I'm also looking at CGC. Maybe CGC can help me for the rest of the day. But AMD is just being a little stubborn. I'm going to move on from it. I also think part of this is due to the market rebounding. Yeah, I see the market running up some. Yesterday, I'm just going to call you Jay. Yesterday, Jay, I ended up $170. So a green yesterday. Like I said, prior till today, my account balance was at $1,236 in profit. So solid day yesterday. I'll take it. Like I said, so we'll see if I can rebound today. It's a little early, and I've found myself in a little bit of a hole today already. But it is what it is. I mean, if today's a green day or a losing day, it's been a while. So a losing day will be acceptable, you know. But yeah, appreciate the sub, Jakey. What's up, guys? Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We do this live for free every day. Nobody look at AMD. Nobody look at AMD. That thing faked me out like crazy. Faked me out. Look at that. Here, I'll bring it up. Everybody make fun of me. Look, here it is. Everybody make fun of me. Look at that move. It's right down to where I wanted it. I got scared out. Everybody make fun of me. Call me dumb, Chad. Everybody call me stupid. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Alright. I'm going to move on to a different stock, though. Too rangy, AMD, unfortunately. Looking at CGC, we'll see. And I'm also looking at Roku here. I don't hate Roku. Maybe I'll take a little bit of Roku. Now that, see if we can confirm a bounce here. Right off the whole dollar. Oh, I got an AMD. Wrong stock. Wasted money right there. Did I double? Okay, no. Alright. Hey, no stress. That's right, guys. Make fun of me. Make fun of me. Do it now. Do it now. You know, you gotta be able to make fun of yourself sometimes, and now's one of those moments for me that you just gotta make fun of. It's alright. Sometimes, yeah, I'll short pot stocks. Sometimes. It just depends, really. It happens, you know. Yesterday I was spot on. Today, not so much. So, kind of the way trading works. Sometimes you're doing well, sometimes you're not, and you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm looking for Roku to maybe get up here to like the 60s. I'll take some profits off of this one. Look at AMD, man. AMD would have followed through nicely there too, unfortunately. Fake out City today, guys. I think part of it is I'm being a big wimp. I think I'm being a big wimp with my trades. That hurts with AMD. It was just hard to tell, and I think I'm working on scaling up in size, and so with AMD I took bigger size, and it just kind of it made me get out of it a little bit early, is what I think really happened with AMD. I think normally I would have held it through that if I would trade with the same sizing that I've been trading, and I think since I'm trying to scale up in size, that I just ended up getting scared out a little bit earlier because of the bigger sizing, and now that's my fault, and it's going to be a learning process for sure of as I start to get more and more used to trading with bigger size, I will end up, you know, holding it to the proper levels and holding it correctly. But as I'm learning, I think I'm gonna get scared. I'm gonna be a little bit more emotional, and I'm gonna get scared out a little bit earlier than I typically would with a smaller sizing. So it's a process for sure, but we'll get there. There's a move up in Roku. We'll see if we get a bigger breakout here. I'm also looking at CGC. I do think we have to be wary of the market, which is pushing up some. I do think we have to be wary of the market. Like I said, market's pushing up. Looking at Roku, see if we get a breakout above this $0.50 here, which might act as some resistance actually. See if we get that move. No. Nice little breakout here. I'm gonna take half off of Roku, hold the less a little bit. Move on with my day. See if we can get the rest up here to the highs, preferably.
Alright guys, and I'm back. Alright guys, just looking around trying to see charts. Don't know if you guys saw that. Fate faded again. We have AMRN with a nice breakout towards 22.95. 100,000 shares rolling through that one. That one's looking good for a daily breakout. Looking for CGC to come back towards VWAP. That would be a play at $21. Looking at that one. Saw DBI reject here. DBI reject off of the 1550 that we talked about pre-market. Come right back down to 1430s. I'll see if that one can get up towards VWAP. DERM ripping out there towards a high of 11, pulling back here towards 10, holding 10, multiple candles now. We almost got 5 1-minute candles holding at that $10. Be careful with that price point. It could flush down through or start spiking through the 1030s. Anything else out there? Don't really see much moving. If you guys see something, let me know. Really like the AMRN, but haven't been able to get in. Like that first dip there to 48, but never got 45s for an entry. That would have been a great entry there. Things ripping up there, trying to rip out to 23s.
All right, I got out of Roku for a $30 win. I think around a $30 win, yeah, $25 win. So I'll take it. Just gonna keep pushing, see what else we can find.
All right, guys, gonna look for a quick spike in DERM to short into. It's a little bit of a high danger squeeze short, so just gonna put it out there. It's high risk.
Yeah, AMD's confirming why I shouldn't have traded it in the first place. Now it's squeezing back up, just extremely choppy and sideways. So I think it's also following the market to a certain extent, and the market's squeezing up. So we'll see what happens with that. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Netflix, Tesla as well.
AUPH struggling to get above 17. We talked about that today, guys. Watch this price point below here, 1675. If it gets hit big, could get a big candle down to 1650.
Thank you for the subscribe, Megan. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys, looking to get in here on Derm at 15s. If I can get 15s, I would like them. It spiked really quickly. Gonna take a little bit there.
Yeah, that varies, man. Sometimes I do better in the morning. Sometimes I do better late in the morning and early in the morning. So that it's all dependent on what the market is really doing. It's all considering. Yesterday I did really well in the morning. Some days
all right, gotta be careful here, guys. Just added here. Gotta hold right above it here. Risk is gonna be 30 here.
Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla to see if Tesla pulls back to the VWAP. If it does that, I might take it with a tight risk of 342.60s, and then use a reward target up there at 345 for a small risk, big reward trade. We'll see what happens. Though we need that pullback. I do like the support that it has underneath the VWAP at this point, and so we'll see if that happens. I'm still waiting on it. What did Stitch Fix end up doing today? I was waiting for Stitch Fix. But yeah, the green screen will be back in the next day or two. Yes, sideways. It's been faking me out on Morning Chris, so no stress, bro. You know, there'll be other opportunities, bro. I'm kind of keeping an eye on CLVS as well. CLVS, we'll see what happens with that.
Alright, gotta be careful here, guys. Alright. Got a hold right here, could get potentially squeezed out right now. You see a quick rejection here through the 10. Anything above 25s, I'm just gonna get out. There's a spike, I gotta get out. There's a squeeze. Alright guys, that's definitely gonna do it for me, guys. I'm down 184 there.
Don't stress, brother. Always
Yeah,
a good day
just-
tomorrow,
It's just one of those days where when you don't execute out the open, that's just what usually happens. No execution, lost my mental capital. Risked way too much on this trade. I can tell you guys that right out the back. That's how it is.
Yeah, tomorrow's always a new day, brother. It happens. We kept it pretty small. I mean, less than $200. We're good. You know.
What happened is in this one, I went and I jumped in early because of earlier missing out. Ended up jumping in early, getting a bad average, causing the loss to be bigger than what it should have been.
Here we go. I turned the music down a little bit.
And it looks like I just got faked out. All right, traders, that's probably going to do it for me, guys. Definitely, guys, though, don't forget, guys, hit the subscribe button. You know, win or lose, you guys will be able to see us trade live every single day. that's really what it's all about, guys. So definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Regardless if you like to see us win or lose, hit that subscribe. You guys take it easy. Have a good day.
Later, brother. All right, guys. So yeah, sorry about being muted. Not a bad little trade there on SFIX. We'll see what we get. Like I said, not a bad little rebound. I was down like $100. I'm down like 35 now. Last two trades have all been green, and yeah, we're gonna see what else we can get ourselves into today. I'm specifically looking at CLVS, and as it's down at 43, I might start to scale into it with a main entry target of 29. So I'll try to get in around here, maybe this 31, 30 level or so with the risk level. Let's see where my risk could be. Let's look at some pre-market levels. I think 18 would be a solid risk level here. Got some confirmation in pre-market, so using that 18 level as our risk. We're gonna try to slowly scale into this one, see what we can get out of it. SPY's moving up, that should be beneficial for it. So while we do have a second, I'll go ahead and go over this. So the platform I'm using is TEFS and TradeNet. If you want to use the same platform as us, I'll post that link here. You can day trade with no PDT rule, and the commissions are pretty cheap. They equal out after fees to about 0.0075 cents per share. But there's a 150 per trade minimum. But basically, like if you buy like 300 shares or less, your round trip commission is going to be like $3 to $4. So ridiculously cheap, very, very cheap. And it's one of the ways I can take such small sizing. And there's a lot of benefits to using them. Technically, they're an educational package, and then everybody gets to apply for the funded account. And almost everybody's approved. And I think if you're not approved, you can get a refund. But once you are approved, the funded account comes with 14,000 in buying power to trade with. No PDT rules, so you can day trade and short stocks if you want to. The educational package itself comes with a trading course, access to their chat room, and a demo account. And the funded account operates like a prop firm. And so there's a 70-30 split. You basically have to split 70% or 30% of your profits with them. And so if you make $1,000 in net profit, they keep $300, you keep $700. But again, they're giving you all that buying power to trade with. There is a $700 max loss, and the base package is only $399, so it's ridiculously cheap. And so if anybody wants to check them out, great way to help support our channel as well. Of course, I'm biased in their regard because I post links for them and make a commission if you sign up. But, like I said, I genuinely think that they're a good platform for new traders to get started because it'll just save new traders money. Instead of risking thousands, you can spend $400 on the package. And like I said, I think that just makes sense. And so here's the link if you want to check that out. I'll be right back, guys.
So casually keep diving into concrete. So
Alright, I'm back. So yeah, I'm in CLVS for a dip. We're gonna see if we can get a rip up here to the previous highs of the day. I kind of wish I would have taken big enough sizing or bigger sizing than this, but no stress. We can just trade small for this one. Hey, appreciate it, Eddie. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, great way to help support us. Like I said, I try to be honest with people about it. There's pros and cons to each. One of the cons of using them is that there's not many penny stocks to trade. And so if you're like a sole penny stock trader, they're probably not the best platform for you. But I think they're objectively cheap, and I think that if you look at the other options for day traders that are trying to day trade with no PDT rule, I think they're the best option. Obviously, they're the cheapest. You get to day trade, you get to short stocks. Most new traders can't short, and I think if you think about all those different aspects, I think it just makes sense for new traders specifically to be able to day trade short stocks. Comes with a paper account to trade with for a few weeks, so you can kind of get your feet wet and get started. And like I said, I think they're objectively cheap and just a cheap way for new traders to get started. I think, to be fair, I think almost all new traders are going to lose their first account, regardless of where they go. It doesn't matter where they go. I think most new traders are going to lose their first account, and that this is just a much cheaper way than, like I said, if you save up thousands and deposit thousands, that's going to be a lot of money, and you're going to lose that almost certainly as a new trader. And so this is just a cheaper way to get started. Trade a live account, day trade, get some experience. Comes with a course, chat room, paper trading account. I think the bundle makes sense for new traders. Hey, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. Happy people can find value in my videos and content. Yeah, like I said, we just try to be we're not experts or gurus here. You know, we are just a free resourcing community. My videos, all I really do is just teach people what I've learned along the way. I teach people what has worked for me specifically, you know. And lately, what's worked, VWAP Bounce, is the same exact trade I'm in right now, VWAP Bounce. Those have worked for me lately over everything else. And so, you know, in trading, strategies are going to change, the market's going to change. And you just got to kind of go with what works. Try to ignore everything else. You know, a lot of times you're going to get people in trading that, you know, there's a lot of different subsets of the market, like giving out picks and stuff like that. I'm pretty anti-pick just because I think traders need to be independent and you can't rely on somebody else's picks in trading. And so I think you got to just learn how to do it yourself and learn how to trade the market yourself. I think that's the best way to approach it. But everybody's a little bit different, and yeah. All right, we'll see what happens here. Like I said, it's still early, not even 10 a.m. yet. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I am, bro. You know? Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, though. You know? And like I said, it's not about how good I am or how bad I am. It's about traders learning to do it themselves. You know? I can give out picks. You could try to copy my trades. But, like I said, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't necessarily want anybody to copy my trades. I think that traders have to learn to be independent of anybody else, and they can't just rely on somebody else to give them picks or to copy their trades. I think if you want to have longevity in the market, you have to learn how to do it yourself. And you know, there's lots of different styles of trading. You don't necessarily have to trade like me or anybody else. You can find your own style. Like, really, we're not the ones that invented the VWAP fade or VWAP bounce, but we did come up with our own way to trade them, and I think that our way is unique, the way we trade them, and our way works the way we trade them. And so, you know, there's other people that talked about the VWAP bounce and the VWAP fade and stuff like that, but again, I think the way we approach them, specifically speaking on the risk reward aspect of it, is fairly unique to the trading world, and you know, it seems to work fairly well overall. As I'm saying that, CLBS is dropping against me, but it seems to work fairly well. Maybe this will give me a chance to add into it. I don't mind adding into it if it drops down to like 1130s or so. I don't mind that either. But yeah. SPY's just been moving up, man. SPY's just been moving up. I'll give out a pick. Tyrell. Joe Burrow for Heisman. That's my pick. You know, LSU national champions. That's my pick. Coach O, Coach of the Year. That's my pick. Coach Orgeron, Coach of the Year. That's my pick. Y'all want me to give out picks? Those are my picks. LSU all day. Joe Burrow, Heisman. Coach O, Coach Orgeron, Coach of the Year. You know. Those are my picks. I appreciate your suggestions. Sounds like a good way to start. I will take a look. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Big drop here. Like I said, I don't mind adding into this. We'll see if it comes around and hurts me now for CLVS. I don't mind adding into this drop. And with 400 shares, we're going to take a swing here. Hopefully we get a bounce. If not, it'll be alright. Nice, Nick. Ah, man, I hated that game, Nick. Don't even remind me of that game, bro. That game was so shady. Those referees were so shady. With the A&M LSU game last year. And listen, I live in Texas, but I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so that game was very relevant to me. And yeah, I'm still upset about it. I mean, we shut them down this year, though. LSU shut them down this year, just embarrassed them. But last year, way too shady for me. Way too shady. Did not like last year's game at all, obviously, as an LSU fan. We redeemed it this year, though, but still, very frustrating game last year. And like I said, I live in Texas. I live in Houston, around Houston. And so, with that, obviously, that game was very relevant to me. I was extremely upset afterwards. And those refs were betting on that game, Yeah, for sure, man. We did get get A&M back. We did for sure. Yeah, man. The refs have been surprisingly fair to LSU this year. For some reason, refs just hate the Saints and LSU most of the time. The Saints have been pretty bad this year, too, the refs for the Saints. But the NFL, in my opinion, controls who wins to try to open up new markets and promote the biggest financial markets that they can to exploit them for the Super Bowl. And so I think that's already known, that the NFL kind of tries to control what happens with the teams, specifically for the Super Bowl. College, they're supposed to be more objective, but I think on average the referees favor Bama, mostly because the SEC headquarters is located in Birmingham. But this year it wasn't like that. The refs were surprisingly fair to us this year as LSU. Might get a big breakdown here. I'm hoping for CLVS to break up here. I don't really trade CLVS that much. So we'll see what happens. I'm trying to take bigger size. Somebody told me to take 400 shares, so you see me in with 400 shares. Usually I can find a way to rebound on the day, but we'll see what happens. I live in College Station. Yeah, man. I actually have a lot of family that goes to A&M, and so it's a fun environment over here. So on my wife's side, we have a lot of people that went to A&M because they're from Houston. My side's from Louisiana, and so on my dad's side, my grandfather went to Bama. He went to Birmingham, or he went to Alabama, the school. My parents both went to LSU, and I didn't go to college, but I still grew up in Louisiana, and I'm from Baton Rouge. And if anybody else is from Baton Rouge, you guys know it doesn't matter if you go there or not. You're gonna root for the hometown team, and hopefully we can take it all the way this year. And Joe Burrow is almost certainly gonna win the Heisman. Hopefully Coach O will win Coach of the Year, especially with how much they've changed year over year, specifically with Joe Burrow. I know a lot of it is also Joe Brady's offense, but that should get interesting as well. So we're getting a breakdown here. We'll see what happens. Not loving it, obviously. I trade live every day. I'm about to get hit with CLBS though. I'll give it a little bit of time here. Test these levels right here specifically. Hey, you're from Bossier City. Nice, man. Hey, well, welcome to the stream. But yeah, I trade live every day. There we go. Let's see if we can get the bid to spread out a little bit here. There we go. I like this bounce right here. Mine is beginnertrading@gmail.com. Young. There you go. I mean, Rohit, I'm not an expert or a guru here, man. I don't live off of my trading. I'm not an expert, not a guru. We're just a free resource and community for new traders. That's why the channel's called Beginner Trading. So I don't specifically live off of trading at all. I'm working my way there. We'll see what happens the next few years, but as of right now, I don't specifically live off of my trading profits. I'm just trying to grow my account as much as I can. Yeah, I don't know if it's ever gonna be 250, Bob, but you might wait and get it down to like 300 something. It's at 399, I think now. I do like this because I have a very obvious risk level, specifically here at 25 or so. Oh man, I just realized I've been muted. Hey, if you guys want to use the same scanners as me, go check out that link I just posted. Also, if you want to use the same platform as me, there's a lot of benefits for new traders specifically. You get 14,000 in buying power. There's no PDT rules, so you can day trade and short stocks once you are approved. And almost everybody's approved, I think. And it really allows new traders to get started for cheap. Instead of risking thousands in the market, you can spend $3.99. Once you're approved, you get a lot of buying power. There's a $700 max loss and there's a 70-30 profit split, but I think it makes sense specifically for new traders. Instead of risking thousands, they can spend $400 through my link and get a decent amount of buying power. And so I think it also comes with a trading course, demo account, access to their chat room. But yeah, it comes with a demo account too, so you can get your feet wet. And then you get to apply for the funded account. But almost everybody's approved, and if you're not approved, I'm pretty sure you can get a refund as well. So go check out the link. There's the link. Yeah, man, I've been muted talking. But yeah, go check out the scanners as well. I posted that link as well. TCCO is just not tradable. That's one of the cons of using my platform, is that you can't trade some of these big movers. It's really been sideways most of the day, regardless, though. Also, oh yeah, if you want to follow along, I'll probably keep trading at least once. I'll probably get at least one more trade. If you want to see that, I'll post this link here. You could kind of watch it, and I'll try to post my P&L there too. Here, let me find it. Here it is. But all right, team. I'll see you guys later. All right, later, guys. I'll see you all later. Like I said, check out the chat. Join our Discord if you want to follow along with us. I posted that link. Like I said, if you want to use our platform, there's the link for that as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, same time as always. Good luck in the markets, guys. We'll see you all then.